Alright, so how's it been everybody? It's Size Knives and welcome, well not welcome back, just welcome to some Mortal Kombat. And yeah, I haven't been posting content in a very long time. That's basically because of university and I'm actually going back next year to start my final year. So before I went back, I wanted to make at least one video on Mortal Kombat because, you know, I just kind of missed making videos on YouTube. And well, as we all know, Mortal Kombat 11's out, and as we all know, I'm Erron Black's eternal bitch, so of course I'm going to make a video on Erron Black. I mean, what else did you expect, right? I mean, to sum up my feelings regarding Mortal Kombat, the Mortal Kombat franchise in itself was nothing more than a flaccid penis until Erron Black graced us with his presence in MKX, and then, yeah, that was the beginning of that. So, in this video, I'm going to be doing an Erron Black detailed breakdown on how the character works, I guess, because I've got nothing else to really do. I've played games online. I've played multiple games. I've hit demigods in all 3 seasons. I'm currently a demigod now, as I shall now quickly prove, just in case any of you don't believe me for whatever reason. But there you go. I don't give 2 shits. So, I mean, I've got plenty of time, and I'm still going to be demigod by the time the season ends. So yeah, that's demigod there. So I've played enough games with the characters I shall quickly show you to have a decent understanding as to what to actually do and how to get him to work in general. So I want to go over both tournament variations, being 52 card pickup and Barkian. So I'll start with 52 card pickup, and yeah, Cassie's my training dummy because she has a lot of good tools. So I'm going to be going over, you know, what type of character Erron Black is, what strings you should use, and your optimal combos, things of that nature, and how to sort of chain everything together in sequences. So I'll probably put timestamps in the description, or maybe just in the comments as well, because this will be pretty long. So without further ado, let's get into it. So obviously Erron Black's my favourite character, we all know that. So Erron Black in this game, well, 52 card pickup, I'll start with that because this is variation we are with. Think of 52 card pickup as your Swiss Army knife of Mortal Kombat, because 52 card pickup can basically do everything you want him to do. Okay, so he can counter zone, scud shot, he can actually zone. You know, he gains access to these prone shots, which he can amplify. He's got crouching shots. He's got the highs, you know, which all do decent chip as well. So he can zone, he can counter zone, he can zone off of strings like so. He can do all that good stuff, and he can actually go forward too. Bing. So he can zone, and he's also got really good neutral. He's got really good pokes, really good maids. He's got this, and he's got his 2-on-2-on-2. In MKX, he had the iconic 2-1-1-2-2 pressure strings 5-hit punch combo. So in this, he gets a 2-on-2-on-2, which actually ends in 2 overheads, as you can see. Really good string to use as well. So he's really good in neutral. He's really good at playing foots. He's closing in, staying at mid. So he can basically play from any range. He can play from here. He can play from here. He can play from back here, and he could play from all the way back here as well. 52 card pickup can basically thrive in every single scenario you could possibly throw at this character. You just need to know what you're doing in order to get him to work. So I'll go over basic attacks and pokes, things of that nature, then I'll start building up which combo attacks you want to be using, and so on and so forth. So the main issue I had when I started playing this game is I wanted to basically learn every single string for no apparent bloody reason. Out of all these combo attacks, you're only really going to be using like maybe 5 of them at most, and there's a lot more than 5. So basically this is really stripping the fat off of the flesh and just going back to a basics approach sort of thing. So yeah, so as far as pokes go, you definitely want to be using your down 1. That's really good. You're plus 12 on hit, so that jails into standing 2. So you can get that going. And basically what jailing means, for those of you who don't know, if you hit confirm you're down 1, like so, they can't do anything about your standing 2, so they can't interrupt it. They basically have to sit there and deal with it. So, yeah, and if your opponent disrespects, meaning they end up getting clipped, you can cancel, and you can do whatever. And I apologise for the frame rate on the game. I need my laptop cooling pad to help keep my laptop really cool, but I don't have enough ports, and I needed my mic in. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing at about 40 to 50 range. Please pray for me. Down 3 has the same principle. That's not down 3, that is also a low. Your down 1's a mid, down 2's a low. That also jails. Bear that in mind. Your down 4's really good. It's got so much range, honestly. It's I think it's one of the best down 4s you could possibly ask for. It's so good. And then you can chain everything together. As far as also a good tool, your back 4. It's a really good trip. So basically, if you do that, you can jail and wake up, go for a throw. I mean, look how much damage you've already scaled. And we didn't even really do a combo of 2-1, 2-1. I mean, we didn't launch. I just quickly put the acid down to show you what you can do. So back 4 is really good. So you can do this. If your opponent comes charging in, trip him, go for a throw, something along those lines. So it's really good. Definitely use that. So those are your basic, like single hit attacks. So down 1, down 3, down 4, back 4. That's it. Okay, so now with combo attacks, what you want to be using. Back 1, I want to go over this because not a lot of Erron Black players uses, and I'm not too sure why. It's a good way to actually open up a game. If your opponent jumps out of the gate, it won't work as well. But if they do not jump, if they dash back, sometimes you're not guarding when dashing backwards, so the 2 bullets will hit you, so you can get a knockdown, just charge in. It's like so. Put the acid down. You can start something right away. Back 2 also works because it's quicker than your other mid, which is forward 2. It's quicker and it's got 1 less recovery frame on it. And another thing I want to go over with back 1 is if it hits the distance that is left between you and your opponent, because you're right in close range. So what you can do to really start mixing people up, you can go for a throw. You can also go for a forward throw without having to move at all. You can just go for a throw. If your opponent starts reading throws, you can hit confirm them and just jail them, because to defend a throw you have to crouch without guarding whatsoever, so that will hit them. So that, you can do both options. Jail, that's really effective to use. I use that a hell of a lot. And you can go for the full string. I don't remember, how safe is this? Is it even safe? Yeah, it's -8. So I think, shoot, Cassie should be able to punch it off with standing 1, I think. Let me see how much pushback there is on it. Yeah, she's not punching that, I don't think. You should be fine. And then, again, you can down 4 if they come in. Or you can dash forward 2, go for a throw if they keep respecting, something along those lines. So you can get going. That string can get you started. So definitely keep that in mind. Don't overuse it, because it doesn't have as much range as your forward 2. So your forward 2 is better for closing in distance. But the thing with forward 2, which I want to point out, unlike with back 1 where you're in throwing range immediately, with forward 2, that's going to whiff. So if this hit confirms, you're better off going for, a down, down 4-3. But also, you can, I would recommend using this as well. I forgot to mention that with the perks. I forgot 52 card pick beat has that. That's a good move to use. You can forward 2 to down 4, forward 2 to down 3. Don't do it to down 1 unless you kind of micro dash and get it, because it will initially whiff. So that's good to use. I wouldn't use the full string unless, again, you're playing the zoning game. Then it can be quite effective. Or if you just want to whiff punish, if Cassie's coming in, you can catch like so. Using back 1, 2, 2 can actually be quite useful, but this is punishable, like launch punishable. Let me just check. If I put Cassie to block, block advantage -15. Yeah, you're screwed after that. Don't do that, please. Cassie would be able to 1-1-1, forward 4. She'd probably be able to back 2, whatever she wants, really. Use your forward 2. That's a really good string. As is your back 1. Forward 3 is good because you get the forward 3-2. Now, the 2 in forward 3-2 is flawless blockable, as I shall now quickly demonstrate. So I'll set myself to Cassie. Right, so I'm using Cassie, and I'll just record. We'll get on black. Whoop. And it's not really hard, and this is coming from someone who sucks at flawless blocking across the board. This is not, it's not too hard. You know, you can easily flawless block that. So bear that in mind. But as a general string, and if your opponent isn't flawless blocking, you are safe onto your, -3. You've got good pushback. You can cancel. Get some stuff going. So 4-3-2 can be good. And if your opponent is starting to flawless block, you can just kind of bump, something like that, just to throw the timing off. So it can be pretty, well, not pretty effective. It can be a mind game, but again, it's not something to really live and die over. It's just something you can do. So you have that. Obviously, 2-1-2-1-2. Easily one of, if not his absolute best combo string. So a quick tip, well, I've got 2 tips for actually doing the string, because it can be a bit of a pain to get off. So if you don't know how to do it, what you can do if you play with your 2 fingers is 2-1-1 and then press 1+2 together, so you get a 2-1-1 1-2 kind of command history like I just got. So I'll show you that again if you didn't see. Hopefully the search gets through like that. If you play with your 2 fingers, I use my thumb to play. I just press buttons with my thumb on this game, so I just rapidly slide across like that. So that works for me. So practice getting that string down, because that will be one of the most used strings, especially if you end up using barking irons also. So we'll go with that in due time. Also, another combo string, back 2-2-2, very good. Good mid, good punisher, 11 frames startup. I mean, it is it's not safe at all, but because we've got Scud Shot, we can knock some frames off there, and we can start messing with our opponent. But we'll go into that in a later time. So those are his combo strings you want to be using. Off back 2, you get back 2 up 4, which is pretty good. It's pretty good. And you get, hang on, let me get Cassie off block. So, and you get back 2 up 4, and you can mash 2 out. It's a really cool move, but not highly practical. I mean, again, it looks cool, but as far as combo damage goes and whatnot, it's nowhere near optimal, so I wouldn't use that. So as far as combo attacks go, 2-1-2-1-2, back 2-2-2, forward 2, back 1, and forward 3-2. That's it. Whatever else is in here, I mean, you don't need to use it. You don't need to use a 3-2 unless you're in zoning. But again, I mean, you can just use that. The only thing with that is you get a mid shot, but I mean, whenever I try and use this, most people just sort of jump it. That can actually catches people more often than not when I'm playing, so I just tend to use that. So now that we've gone over that, we'll right, specials. So his specials, so he has the slide, which you can amplify, and that gives you acid, and he has obviously the back forward 4, which is his rifle, and because you're using 52 card, pick up the stance of lock and load is actually enhanced. What that means is you can actually cancel out and combo. Let me see if I can get this. Hey, there you go. So you can do that, which is really good. And as I mentioned earlier, you get access to these additional zoning tools, which basically the prone shot. So basically you can crush any projectile because most of them are high, and even if it's a mid one, you're prone on the floor, so nothing will really hit you. So that's really good. And his main one, I've just gone past it like a moron, is Scud Shot. This is by far what this is by far what gives 52 card pickup more of a threat in this sort of range. And even back here, this is kind of what gives him the Swiss Army knife sort of, you know, characteristic in game. So what this allows you to do is basically deflect any projectile that any character does. I'll just show you real quick. So Cassie, back one, and you can amplify and you know, get a counter really effective, so you can do that. You can also make your strings safe on block. So if I put Cassie to, let's just say, shoulder charge, I mean this is a good, this is a pretty quick move. So if I back 2-2-2, okay, whatever, I'll just back 2. You know, she can reverse. Okay, that's not a good example. Shoot. Whoop. Hang on. So if I so basically, hang on. So back 2-2-2, that string. I mean, back 2 on itself is like -10. Yeah, it is -10. And back 2-2-2 might be -15. Something. Yeah, it is -15. So very unsafe options on block can be easily punished. But what Scud Shot allows you to do is make these strings a lot safer. So through labbing, I've determined, I don't remember for sure, either the Scud Shot makes you either -10 or 11. The thing is, I know what you'd be thinking, that's not exactly safe, and it's not. However, if your opponent tries to reverse or just do anything and you amplify, you'll get a free counter on them and you'll get a knockdown. So that's one reason it's effective. So so you can do that, and and if your opponent respects, you can start to chain pressure like this. You know, if you watch tournament gameplay, you'll see players like Hayate doing things like this. You can get people to respect because people don't always know if you can amplify. So you're kind of leaving your opponent on the back foot as they're scared as to, you know, eating the... How much damage does this do? Hang on. Is it 150? Oh, 70, sorry. Do 70 damage, you know, which you would if you actually try to counter off of the string. So that does keep people on the back foot, which is really good, because that's really what you want to do, because you're in the driver's seat at that point. So yeah. So with Scud Shot, what you want to basically, that's what you want to be doing, making your strings safer. You can do that with back 2-2-2, back 2-2. What I've figured out, well, I haven't really figured it out, but this is what I noticed after labbing. Back 2-2-2 to Scud Shot on block leaves you more safe because there's more pushback on back 2-2-2. So if you do this when your opponent's really jumpy and they're just quick to reverse, you're more likely to get punished. I'll just put Cassie to... Well, this... Hang on. For God's sake, why is she doing that? Okay, I'm just gonna have to record it. Hang on. So, okay, I'll just go back to Cassie. So I'm Cassie, record out black. So there you go. So, whoop, shoot. Right. So if I record back into thingy, so he's not, after that, if you choose to disrespect, he's not in a position to really do anything, because whatever you do is going to come out first, and that's not really good. Again, you see what I mean? Back 2, you get the counter. So with that being said, if you do back 2-2-2, you're much safer off because of this pushback. But some characters can punish you, which is where the mind game comes in, because if she tries to punish and I just amplify, hey, amplify, you moron! What? Okay, that should work. Again, I'm not even going to be able to get through. Nothing's going to work at all. I can't even jump. You know, I'll try that again. I can't jump, so that's where you keep your opponent on the back foot. Same thing with back 2-2. Yeah, nothing's going to come through at all. So you do that. Okay, so you actually can't punch with the 9-frame mid with thingy. Oh. But make no mistake, if the opponent doesn't respect, you know, Erron Black's not getting his turn back off there at all. So you can, you know, you just amplify, steal your turn back, and get a knockdown. With back 2-2-2. Some characters can punish. So Cassie can, that means Jax would be able to. Jackie probably would be able to. Maybe Liu Kang could, because Liu Kang has a 9-frame mid. So if you feel like your opponent's going to counter, amplify. Especially off of back 2-2-2, because against someone who has a 9-frame mid, that's what they're going to want to do. You know, just bing, amplify. If they're not going to amplify, or if they're not going to try and interrupt, put some pressure going, put pressure together, sorry. Keep going, just go ham. You know, use your strings that I mentioned earlier, just to stay as safe as possible. But you don't want to be using something like this, because up 4 can actually whiff sometimes. I'm not even kidding. So hang on, let me try and do this. No. I mean, don't do that. It's not really good. If you put your opponent in the corner and you want to go for some fancy combo and obtain some nice styles points, you know, we all like them, go for it. But mid-screen, okay, it worked then. Oh, that just about worked. Yeah, don't do it. Because if it whiffs, you can't cancel into anything. You know? So you're going to be unsafe, and you've got 34 frames of recovery on there, so it's not a safe option. Another thing you can do with Scud Shot, you can Scud Shot into 2-on-2-on-2. You can Scud Shot any string. You can, you know, as I mentioned earlier, forward 3. You can do that if your opponent starts forwards blocking the 2. You can Scud Shot after forward 3-2. Bing! You can do something like that. Decent chip, good pushback. Oop. Pushback. You know, you could, let's see, forward 2 in there, get a dash, go for a throw, something like that. That's pretty good. You know, throw some acid down, bang. You know, do something along those lines just to get it going. So you can do it with 2-on-2-on-2 as well. So you wouldn't really Scud Shot this string because you're left at -7 anyway. What you can do, however, because there are 2 overheads in the string, the last 2 attacks, so what you can do, and you will have seen this online against some Erron Black players, some Erron Black players can actually cheese wins out. If the ping's high, all you have to do is something like that, and on 200 ping, that can be a bitch to block. I know, I've been there. So what you can do online, I say online because I want to stress this, locally against a player of, you know, decent skill, they're gonna block this most of the time, because offline this is pretty goddamn reactable. Online, however, where the ping's shooting through the roof, it can be quite effective. Same with back 2, you can just sort of you will have seen this really often if you've played this game online for a, you know, decent period of time. So yeah, so what you can do with that is, if you hit your opponent with a couple of slides, you know, like so, and your opponent starts blocking, what you can do, you can cancel a Scud Shot, go for a throw, something along those lines. If they start respecting the string more, if they start to expect, if they're beginning to anticipate a slide, you can keep them on the back foot a bit. If they start poking through, you know, you can get a free counter. Bing! You can do that with the last hit too. That's what I used to do that a lot in the corner if my opponent respected. So you could do that. Ding, 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 ding. Go back again. Whatever. Something along those lines, right? I saw Hayate use this in the tournament. I never cancelled off here before. Off just the 2-on-2. That actually flows better. That's why I mainly use this now. I'm not going to lie. And what I mean by that is, if I just hit the string, it doesn't really have as much of a flow to it. Meaning, for most people, actually, it'd be much easier to block. Let me show you what I mean. That's a bit more sudden. It just is. Same with back 2. If you back 2 into slide, it's a bit easier to block than back 1 slide. Because, again, it's more sudden. It just sort of hits you out of nowhere. The low does. Especially if the ping's going through the roof like I said earlier on. I'll give you a good example. Sub-Zero, the character one of the few characters on the game who has a raw 50-50 low overhead mix-up. You'll see loads of Sub-Zero players do this, and I swear, they'll just forward 2 online and go straight into their slide, and out of nowhere they'll just get a crushing blow. That can be quite scary because it just catches you off guard. Now, the difference with Sub-Zero and Erron Black, Sub-Zero has an 8-frame slide, Erron Black slide, 17, what was that, 17, 20? Hang on. So back 4, 3, 21 frames. Yeah, obviously it's not as viable of a mix-up, but it is something you can do, and you can throw your opponent off guard with it, even in local gameplay. So don't live and die by that mix-up, because again, it's not really a viable mix-up, and Erron Black isn't exactly, well, he's not really a mix-up character, as he doesn't have any raw overhead or lows to really trap you off, aside from, you know, whatever, but you can't combo. You don't get much off of them. It's just a case, well, I mean, Erron Black you use more for, you know, just, again, he's used for his army knife, so you either let your opponent kill themselves, or you break your opponent down until you start to find openings in which you capitalize. That's how you play Erron Black. So, anyway, yeah, 2-on-2. So, you know, you can cancel if you're, hang on, sorry. You can amplify if you'll press. If they're not going to press, you can go for a throw. You go forward 4, bing, bing, bing. Go for another, that whiffed, but you get the point, you can go for another throw. If they mess up, so, okay, I'm just going to quickly set this to off, and they get hit, again, you can jail them, so that's really effective. Same exact thing for the 2-on-2-1. Again, if you Scud Shot there, shit. So you can down 1, go into it again. That's really effective. You can also do the same with Scud Shot. Didn't mention that, but it's the exact same thing. So you know, if the opponent blocks that, down 3, and you can catch him. So that's really effective. You can do that. And other strings you can Scud Shot off, which I would recommend. Again, you can do that. You can do that. They're respecting. You can throw. You can just go straight for your 2-on-2-on-2. Dash and go for a throw, something along those lines. You can do that, and you can do that. There's no point. I would never do that on any of those strings. I mean, because after the nerf that Erron Black took to Scud Shot, Scud Shot's more unsafe than it used to be, and you're already -3 on forward 2, so you're safe. No one's punching you. So that's only going to add. And you're better off just going into your down 3 or something. But because you're -3, technically it's not your turn. It's not your turn. So if your opponent, tries to steal their turn back, they will get their turn back. So if you're just going into Scud Shot, it's not going to end well for you. Same thing on back 1. I mean, you're -1 off here. Why go into Scud Shot when you can just mash that out if you feel like your opponent will try and interrupt off your back 1? And if they're respecting, again, go into your down 3, down 1, something along those lines. You don't need to cancel into Scud Shot ever. I can't get it. Yeah, that's not even something I'd use to catch your opponent off guard. It just isn't really. I mean, there's no real reward from doing so, so I just wouldn't do it. There's more to lose than there is to gain from cancelling off both of these strings, so I personally wouldn't do it at all. I'd stick to your back 2 to cancel, back 2 to 2, 2 on 2 if you want. I wouldn't really do that, but you can do it. I just wouldn't. If you want to cancel, I'd recommend doing that. Something along those lines. And yeah, 4 3 2. That's all it's Good Shot off. You don't need to do anything else. So now that we've gone over that, let's look at some combos, which is always fun. So I'll go over basic combos and whatnot, and then I'll go over crushing blow combos, things of that nature. So if you hit confirm back 2, this is what you want to be doing. Shit, you don't want to be doing that. You don't want to be doing that either. No! There you go. You want to be going into your slide and amplifying that. You don't have to amplify if you don't want. I personally would. If you feel like your opponent will... Well, I mean, sometimes what people do, I just want to mention this right out the gate. People are fucking cunning, okay? Because, obviously, because you're actually being popped up, you can break that at any point, but what people tend to do, more advanced players, they break as you go for the slide. So basically what that means is because your slide has let me try and whiff this. 42 frames of recovery, you can break from the slide specifically, meaning your acid isn't going to come out, 1, but 2, you get a free punish. I mean, if you've got, like, I don't know, a burger, like a chicken burger just sitting beside your desk, you can take a bite out of that. There's enough time for you to take a nice bite out of your scrumptious burger, put it in the plate, and still punish you. And still punish Erron Black for just, having broken away from the slide in the combo. It's fucking cunning. So if you feel like your opponent is, that type of opponent, this is what I recommend doing. Not that. Dun, dun, dun. You could go into Scud Shot or something. Or you can just do something along those lines. So I'd use one of those 2 options if it was me. That I've found has worked for me really well. I'll show you what I mean because it really... I fucking hate it. It's really smart on the player's part though. So I'll just do the combo. Bing. Okay. See what I mean? I mean, yikes! It's not too good if I'm honest. I didn't get a punish with Cassie, but regardless of whether you get punished or not, it's not your turn after that at all. So if you try to do so much as do a down 4 after that, you'll just get countered if your opponent presses. So yeah, not really worth doing if your opponent breaks from the slide. So just be wary of that as I talk about some other combos. So that's your optimal for your back 2. Off 2 on 2 on 2. Oh shit! Down 3. No, that's not down 3. There you go. Into 4 3 2. Bang. Into your acid. if you want with this combo, because with back 222, you've already kind of bounded them, so you can only, there's only so much airtime you have left. So you kind of you have no choice but to do this, you know. But with back 2, I'm sorry, with 2 on 2 on 2, you can actually get kind of creative. So you can do something like that. I would do that if you're struggling to, you know, get a combo for forward down 3 raw. Because again, online, if you're playing online and the ping is spiking, that can be tricky to hit. So sometimes that's your better option, because look how high you get launched. You can't miss. If you really want some styles points, you can do shit like this. Bing, boom, boom. I missed it. Sorry. I'll get it eventually. Ah! Boom, 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 boom. Wow. Whoa. Yeah, you can imagine I don't do this in game much, right? Dun, 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 dun. What? Basically, you do forward 3 into thingy after that. I'm gonna hit it just to show you can do it. There you go. Yeah, that's a pretty good setup, and it looks fucking cool. I don't care what anyone says. So that's something you could do. I'm sure you could do more. Hang on, let me see if I can do something else. Okay, I wouldn't do that, but you can. You can do that if you want as well. You can do some pretty cool things. And yeah, I mean, those are the only 2 combos attacks from which you really don't launch. Ooh, forward 3. You can do that. This would be good if, for instance, Liu Kang does his flying legend kick from across the arena and you block it. That's your long range punish. Do that. Does that not work? Again, you could do something similar to what I showed you with 2 on 2 on 2. I think. Yeah, there you go. You can do that as well if you really want. It's up to you. Or whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm sorry, I just need to check this notification real quick. Yeah, whatever. So you can do that. Again, those few little strings you'll really end up comboing off. If you end up hit confirming this and you actually get a combo, I salute you, good sir, because I've never done that in my life. I mean, fuck. Again, can do it. But yeah, so those are your main combos off of your actual strings. Off of your combo strings, sorry. So if you land a jumping 3, this is a bit of a bitch. 4, 3, 2 until you slide. That more or less does it for that. So you can do that. Again, if you think they're going to break away, go into the scud shot, or go for a throw. There you go, something like that. And sometimes when you jump over your opponent, you get this shit. No, not that. Now, regret picking Cassie. Yeah, like that. Sometimes you'll get a kick where you kick forward, but because you're over your opponent slightly, you still end up hitting your opponent, and then you'll automatically be flipped over to face your opponent, so you can get a combo like that. Let me see if I can. I missed it. Missed it again. I missed it again. I hate this. There you go. You can do that. Something along those lines. You can also. Oh, for God's sake! Hang on. No. 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 There you go. You can do something with that. Go for a throw. Solid damage off of that. You can do something along those lines as well. And then I'll show you crushing blow combos. Then I'll show you or not necessarily just setups, but things you can do to continue, just keep the ball rolling in your favour after you actually deploy the acid. So crushing blows, I'll turn easy crushing blows on because it makes things easier. So crushing blows, so if you do a 2-on-2-on-2 crushing blow, you can do one of two things, as I shall now show you. 4-3-2. However, I mean, although you'll see maybe 90% of Erron Black players do that, maybe even more, maybe 95. That's not actually optimal. You may not know this. You can actually back 2-2-2 slide. This is more optimal. It's a bit more tricky to do though. Fuck. I'll get it. Don't you worry. What? This does work. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I think I had it then. You have to kind of dash as you hit the crushing blow. There you go, 332. So that did 332. This one did 325. 324. Okay, so that's technically 325. So the back 222 is more optimal. If you're running your game on 60 FPS and if you're not cooking your laptop, you will find it easier. I mean, I'm how hot is my? Oh shit, that's pretty hot. You can do that. Off of, well, if you get a crushing blow off back 222, I would just forward 3-2 into your slide, something along those lines. I mean, I don't think you can back 2 off this, if I'm honest. You can. Not. You cannot. That's what I meant to say. No! No, I don't think you can do that. So I'd just stick to forward 3-2. And again, I'll bring this pointer up. If you feel like your opponent will break from the slide, cancel into your scud shot, or just forward 3 and put your acid up just to be safe in that regard. So those are your 2 crushing blows. If you manage to empty your rifle in game and you get a 2-on-2-on-2 crushing blow, for instance, you can do something like this. Something like that, which is, you know, that is really sexy. I don't think I can slide off it. I'll try. I think you might be able to actually. Again, after the 2-on-2-on-2 crushing blow, you have to slightly dash, so 2-1 does hit. Shit. I think I dashed too much. Oh, damn it. Sorry. I'm not getting enough airtime. Oh, that was close. How did I get it in my first attempt? I swear. Come on, Erron Black! I really thought I had that. Okay, you can slide. That's actually really good damage as well. You know you've got good damage when the golden Mortal Kombat logo appears next to your damage output, so that's good damage. And with, I think I showed you with back 2-2-2. Yeah, you just do that into 4-3-2. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did show you that. Sorry. So those are mid-screen combos. Also, you know, if you manage to hit confirm 4-3 or something like that, you could do that. Or you could back 2-2. I mean, you could. I mean, I suck, so I probably can't. Hey, okay, I got it. What did more damage? That did 297. That's okay. So back 2-2 did more. Back 2-2 usually does more off of the back forward 2 rifle stock uppercut thing. I don't remember what it's called exactly, but yeah, it does more. Again, same principle applies for forward 2. But yeah. And now I shall go over corner combos, because I'm not going to lie, completely forgot, so I apologise for that. So again, I'll turn off crushing blows, and I'll show you what you can do without crushing blow, and then... Oh shit, I just reset all my practice options. My apologies for this, everyone. Just give me one quick second. Yes, remember settings. Alright, sweet. So if you corner your opponent and you get a combo, you can. So I'll go to. I'll start with 2 on 2 on 2 first. You can do this. Crap. You can 2-1 and 2-1 into your acid. You can do this. You can do something like that if you want. If that's a bit tricky, you can just 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, acid, trip, something like that. What else could you do? You could bring up the rifle. You could hold out the rifle longer, something like that. Again, you can either go for optimal, or you can just do what works for you, whatever you find comfortable. Shoot, sorry. Whatever works for you, really. Personally, I tend to use that online, and even locally. I'm just used to doing that. So with back 2 to 2, it's the exact same thing. You can do that. If you feel like your opponent will break away, oops, sorry. If they break away, you're better off cancelling without doing the full 2-on-2-1 string into your acid, because again, you're less likely to be punished on wake up. So just bear that in mind also. And if you want, you can sorry. You can cancel into Scud Shot just to remain safe in case of breakaway. So bear those options in mind. Again, it's the same thing that applies to mid-screen, that also applies to corners in regards to keeping yourself safe from breakaway whilst you're initiating your combo. So bear those in mind. If you manage to land a W3, same thing. If you really feel confident, 2-1, fuck, like I said, it's pretty hard. You could do that. That's only really going to work if you catch them with your jumpy 3 at the very last second. I don't know if you could hear that, was my stomach growling. Shut up, please. Okay, so if you really delay it the last second, because you get much more airtime to really go for it. If you just get it instantly, it can be done, but again, they nearly touch the ground, so it can be pretty tricky. And it doesn't help that I'm doing this on a female character, but whatever. So yeah, those are corner combos. Now she'll stick on crushing blows, and now we shall have some fun, because you do some cool stuff. I'll go back to first, so you can again pretty solid damage. You you do anything else back to? Oh yeah, hang on. You can back 2 to 2. You're not going to get as much damage for that. In the corner, I'd always recommend at least doing 2-on-2-1 acid, like that. Or I'd recommend ending your combo with something along those lines. So that's pretty much it for back 2. Right, jumping 3. I don't actually remember if this works. Fuck. Yikes! That worked. Holy shit. Okay, so you can do that. Let me try one more thing. Okay, that's much easier. Oh, hang on. No. Bang. You can do that. So again, those are options for you. Off 2 on 2 on 2, we can do this. Forward 3-2, crushing blow. Into your acid. Look at that damage over time. That is fucking beautiful. Yeah, those are your corner combos that you want to be doing. Again, the same thing applies for forward 3 and your forward 2. I'm not going to go over them though because, yeah, you're probably not going to get a combo off of them. So, again, sticking to what is practical, what I find practical and what I find works for me. Even if I do hit confirm these in the corner, I'm never really going to try and launch off it. I'm just going to try and jail and get a counter off 2 on 2 on 2, something like that. That'll never happen. That's where easy crushing blows, you know, can backfire because you can get some very unrealistic results. I'll tell you that. Okay, so now I'll talk about setups off of your slide and what you can do once you've actually put up your acid. So, if you've hit your opponent with a slide, hang on, how should I actually demonstrate this? Okay, so I'll go over some simple stuff first. So if you do a combo, you could go for a throw. That's you can get 240 damage points maximum off the back throw while showing acid. The thing is, because the acid puddle got nerfed, if you didn't know, so the hitbox on it is actually much smaller than it. Well, not much smaller, but it is smaller. It's actually harder to time. Post patch as it was pre-patch. So let me show you what I mean. Shit. No! Okay, I got it, but sometimes you won't get it. You won't get them to sit in the acid. So if you dash into them, yeah, they're not taking any bleeding damage. Do you notice that? Because if they were, they'd have taken 240 damage, whereas just then they only took 160. So sometimes what you will be doing is forward throwing on the acid. So that kind of creates a mind game because Erron Black, if you didn't know, also gets a crushing blow. I should probably demonstrate this off of his back throw. Like that. So that grants you access to 310 additional damage, which is really good. So the thing with that is, a lot of people, when they get hit by the slide, they expect you to back throw. Because that's what everyone used to do pre-patch. But it doesn't always work now. So if your opponent is, if they're not sure as to what's coming and you go for a throw, and you go for a forward throw, for instance, and they break it incorrectly, meaning they don't tech it, and they trigger the escape failed, you now have access to your crushing blow if you throw. So that can be a mind game. You can do that. And then, if you get in, get a back throw, you'll be able to trigger your crushing blow, something like that. So that is something you can do. And sticking on the subject of throws for the time being, your opponent will eventually have enough if you continue to harass them with throws and just crushing blow you with a down 2 and just completely catch you. So you don't want that to happen. So if you feel as though your opponent starts to whip out down 2s more regularly, so if you start to see this becoming more of a trend in your opponent's gameplay, what you can do is dash up and try and jail your opponent. Get something going with that. So you can now set them to block. They've been hit by the down 3. Oh, so they'd have to eat the 2 on 2 on 2, and all the while they're actually in the acid whilst you're hammering them. So you are building up damage over time, which is really good. Let me show you that properly because I botched the crap out of that. I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, so I'll stick them on block. Okay, I botched that still, but it wasn't as bad. So you can do that. And again, if you put your opponent on the back foot with this, whoop, you can scud shot, go straight into your throws or something like that, or you can loop the whole sequence. So what you can do, if you hit them, and I set them on again to block, I botched that. Okay, so you get them with a down 3. I'll do that again. Sorry. So they've been hit. All block. You can scud shot again if they respect. You can hit them with the down 3, and you can go in again. You know, you can do some stuff like that. Another thing you can do, this is really unsafe by the way, so if your opponent is giving you some mega respect, then I'd consider possibly using this option on block. But what you can do, I saw Hayate using this in DreamHack, I think it was. I might have seen him use it before as well, but what you can do, back to pull your rifle out, do something like this. Again, that's using a chip, as you can see. So you can do that if you know, get some acid. You can hit from you down 3. Do something like that. That's decent damage over time, as you can see. So that's something you can do. So let me take that off. Other things you can, well, I mean, again, what you want to be wary of also is if your opponent actually has defensive meter. So if you hit a slide at the end of your combo and dash in, you might just get clipped with an up 3, and your momentum might be gone after that. So sometimes, and this is kind of an underrated opinion, but sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Sometimes you might just want to slide. I'll do simple combo. Go back and bait something. I mean, if you feel like they're really trigger heavy and they're just gonna wake up 3, if they're really, you know, in love with their defensive meter, you might just want to wait for them to burn and then go back in and keep your pressure going, because you don't want to be going forward constantly. I mean, you do if you know, if all the cards are in your favor, but if your opponent starts misbehaving or basically catching you off guard, you don't want to be running forward into their offense as well as their defense, because you can still get flawless blocks. So sometimes hang back, wait for them to make a mistake in the meantime, throw some acid. If you get a slide, and then go in. So sometimes the best thing to do is to wait and be patient. But you don't want to be too patient to the point to where you're respecting and your opponent's just pressuring you. You want to be in their face as well, mixing their shit up. But when it's time to pull the trigger, pull the trigger. That's what you have to do. Again, it will take practice. Erron Black, I mean, he's with Erron Black, for me, it kind of took a bit of time to really feel confident with using him. So maybe some of you will pick him up quick. For some of you, it may take more time for you to get used to him, and that's perfectly fine. But it's just a matter of getting used to how he plays and getting a feel early on as to how your opponent is going to behave with what it is you're going to be throwing at them. That's pretty much the same thing with every character. Think of it this way. This is an analogy. Think of your character as like a block of cheese. Okay, so like in Tom and Jerry cartoons or whatever, you've got the block of cheese with those craters in it, with those holes, and it looks like a really nice block of cheese that Jerry just nabs off the mousetrap and just eats in his little mouse hole. That's exactly what you don't want to be in terms of fighting it, because the more holes you have in your block of cheese, the weaker the structural integrity is of your actual gameplay. So you want to be as solid as humanly possible. Now, of course, regardless of how well you play, some of your options will still be unsafe. Sorry if I set Hazard to block. Some of your options will still be unsafe. So, there will still be some holes, but it's about minimizing those holes as much as humanly possible to become the most well-rounded player you can be. So that's what you want to be doing, not just with Erron Black, but with every single character you pick up. So that's a piece of advice I hope you can put forth and exercise with every single one of your characters. That's what I use with Erron Black as well. So off the slide as well, sometimes again you can do nothing. Also, you can backdash, go for a boot drop, something like that. What you can also do, slide, as opposed to doing a throw, you can just jump in, right? Sometimes that works. Get a full combo. That does decent damage. So jump in. You can do a jumping 3 if you feel like your opponent's just going to get up and block. Let me set this to auto. Oh shit, that stance. Auto. Do that. Again, you're +8 after your jumping 3, so make no mistake, you can do whatever you want to do. So that means down 3s, down 4s, down 1s. You know, you could go for a forward 2. You could go for a back 2. You know, set some pressure up. As I shall now show you. Shit, I'm sorry. Botched my input. You know, you do something like that. Go in for a throw. Look at this damage. Over time. That's nearly 50, and then you can throw some acid down, set your acid up, start rifling them down, start gunning them, because they're not going to want to cross, and then you've got this in their face, so you kind of they just sort of have to sit there and deal with what's being thrown at them, which in this case is a lot of bullets, which isn't good for anyone. So that's something you can do. Also, yeah, on that front, you can just sort of backdash. You can do that as well. That's also pretty viable of an option, because you're in prone, there's not much they're going to be able to do about it. So, and not a lot of people do it as Erron Black plays. So that is something you can do to just throw them off guard. If you just pop up and you just fire 3 low shots on them, and they're just sitting in acid the entire time. So that's something you do. So I'll do that again. Backdash a bit. Shit, that not forward 4. You do that, and just pop up and fire a couple more high and mid shots, just to prevent them from, you know, firing into you at full speed and catching you. So you can do that, just keep them on the back foot again. What else can you do? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, of course, back 4. You can attempt to jail them and wake up, so if that hits, you'll get a knockdown. If it doesn't, and if they end up blocking it, well, that's fine. Either way. Go in. Go for a throw. Again, if your opponent is starting to, you know, read your throws incoming, you can just do something like this. Not that. Dun, 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 dun. You can do something like that and just make yourself safer. And then at that point, they're probably going to try and come in, so wait for your turn, wait for your opportunity, strike, and go again, something like that. Try and rack up a crushing blow for throw as well. Don't rely on them too much, obviously. I mean, I know I use throws a lot in my pressure, that I am exhibiting that quite extensively, but make no mistake, don't do this constantly in game, because your opponent will be able to download that pretty easily. So, you know, keep it on the back foot. Whoop. You can also, this is also something you can do. Oh yeah, shoot, sorry. Off the slide. You can do this. Cancel 2-1 and just go into back 4. And if they're, because all you have to do, realistically, to block 2 on 2 on 2 is guard high the entire time. You just have to stand in guard. So if you do this and your opponent doesn't turtle, I mean if they're sitting crouch guarding the entire game, they're basically turtling up. If they're not doing that, if they just stand, you can just trip them and that will hit them. And then you can go into something like this. That's really effective. That's something I just started doing recently, but that can throw people off, so I definitely recommend doing something like that. And if you got the slide in again, get some pushback, and again go for some bullets, dash in, go for a throw maybe. Or if you want, you can just dash in, go straight into that. Something along those lines, you know, just to get going. You can do that. And yeah, that's setups. Is there anything else I haven't covered? Fuck. Hang on. I had a general layout in my mind as to what I was going to cover and how I was going to do so, but at this point I'm sort of lost because with fighting games there's a lot of stuff to go over, so I just want to make sure I've actually gone over absolutely everything. Oh yeah, I'll tell you this, this is a bit late, but to cancel out of the rifle stance, you hold up. If you want to keep your rifle out, you just don't do anything, you know. So you press 2, nothing. If you press 2, hold up. Yeah, the rifle's gone up, so that's how that works. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I can go off the fatal blow, I guess. I mean, I haven't done anything with that. Oh yeah, I've already got it. No, I don't have it. Shoot. Because I reset my stuff. Alright, so your fatal blow is an 18 frame, full screen, all high attack, you know, projectile essentially. And this is what it does. Now, even though it's got nerfed, because originally the start frames were 10, so it was lightning quick, it was basically as fast as Jax's Superman Punch Fatal Blow starter, but now it's 18 frames, despite the additional frames on it, because, I mean, they've essentially been doubled almost. It's still a really viable Fatal Blow. It's easily one of his strongest tools now. Because I actually feel as though the nerf is a good thing in some regards, because a lot of Erron Black players, myself included, just took the Fatal Blow for granted and just abused it like a moron. I was just a heavy trigger finger in that case. But now I'm much more patient with it. So that would be my first tip, my first piece of advice in regards to this. Don't just abuse it, because they are all high. And if you put, and again, most Fatal Blows are punishable. Erron Black is certainly punishable. It is minus, how minus is it? I don't even remember. Shoot, hang on. Ghost Coin, it's minus 32. Every Fatal Blow does have armor on it, as it says there. But again, minus 32, and if you F block it, which I highly doubt will happen, you're minus 37. So don't abuse it, of course. It's good for whiff punishing because it, you know, it has full range on it. That's really good. That's good use of it. It's good to just chip people out with it at the end of the game. I've won games just by doing this, pushing people back into Acid. I've won games just by doing that, so that is totally viable as well. Again, if your opponent's forward dashing into you, you just set this up, and you can catch him. And because he fires a lot of bullets, sometimes what people do, they'll let go of block too early and they'll get hit by one bullet and the Fatal Blow will trigger. So it can be pretty cheeky still. So I'll go over some combos that you can use to actually initiate the Fatal Blow in. So you can back 2 to 2. And then buff it. I didn't buff that really well. Also, if you didn't know, you can actually buff the damage of your Fatal Blow by pressing 3. I think you can do any button. I just use 3 at the exact moment in which the opponent actually hits you. So let me show you an example. So if you press 3, you'll see this tiny red skull appear underneath Cass's health bar. That's showing that I'm buffing the damage of my Fatal Blow Up. The opponent can also decrease the damage by also, you know, hitting, inputting as you're actually hitting them in the sequence. So it's kind of like a just frame, really. You're just kind of, you know, inputting whilst you're being hit, just to either try to buff or decrease your damage. So yeah, that's something you can do. That combo I showed you, by the way, if I didn't mention already, is an unbreakable, so that's really useful. What else can you do? Is that just me or oh, hang on. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. Okay, that doesn't work, I don't think. I thought that was just me. Alright, so... Oh. Alright, so you can do back 2-2-2 Fatal Blow, you can 2-1-2-1. Oh, sorry. Fatal Blow, you can do that. You can jumping 3, Fatal Blow, that's a thing. Get some damage by doing that. What else can you do? That doesn't work at all. It's quite hard to actually get it off of a 2-on-2-on with the rifle involved. Yeah, that's something you can do. You can Fatal Blow into that. So I definitely keep that combo in the back of your mind, just in case. And now let's put on some crushing blows. This actually makes it a lot easier to hit in game. So you can do this. You do that. If you feel like your opponent will break away, or if you realise that they've just built 2 bars of meter as you hit the crushing blow, if you feel like they're going to break away, they can't break away from that. So that's good. You can, again, you can do the same off 2-1, 2-on-2. You can do a 2-on-2-on-2 crushing blow. I botched that. Yeah, that's pretty tight, but you can still do it. Yeah. So you can do this. That's something you can do. That's actually a pretty cool looking combo. I haven't done that in a long time. So that's something you can do. Now let's go to the corner. Show you some Fatal Blow potential. I'm just trying this, by the way. I don't actually know if this works. Okay. You can jumping 3, Fatal Blow again. You can do that. And then the combos I showed you mid-screen are also applicable in the corner, but you can also change the ender up. Sorry. Oh god. Okay, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Just you can do this. That will work. Same thing with 2-on-2-on-2. And with 2-on-2-on-2, you can bop down and then get the crushing blow. That will work as well. That will give you more damage. And yeah, okay. Oh, you can also do this. Don't want to forget about that. My input was right. Why did that not work? Boom! Oh, does that not work? Hang on. Okay, that works. Yeah, I just left it way too late. Sorry. What else can you do? You'd be able to do it into 4-3-2. That's harder to do though. But again, it'll work the exact same way. You could. Ooh. You can also do this. Okay, don't do that. Yeah, that's pretty risky. You don't want to be dropping it. And yeah, and if I turn crushing blows off, that would work. Offer you jump at 3. Oh Jesus! Ah! Fuck! Oh. I think you can do this. Hang on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you have to wait for them to drop a bit, so you've actually got some time. I wouldn't do it off these combos, which involve the rifle. I'd just go over to 4-3-2 just to make it easier. But it can be done. It's just really tricky for me, anyway. Yeah, it can be done, as you can see. Let's see what the damage is. I'm not going to buff it. Let's just see. So that does 275. How much does this? How much does this do? I'm guessing it won't do as much. No, that's not going to do so much. Okay, so in that case, I think I'd recommend practicing the 2-on-2 into Fatal Blow. That's something I need to practice as well, actually. I don't know if that's frame drop affecting me. I think I just suck, if I'm honest. So you'd be able to do that with this as well. Hang on. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I thought I had it. Hang on. So. Oh, I thought I watched it. Sorry. Oh! Hey! No idea what's going on. Oh, okay. Alright. Oh, right. You can definitely do it. There you go. Yeah, doable. I'm just an idiot. Can you do it? I mean, that definitely works. We all know that. Ooh, this will be quite interesting, actually. Hang on. Because you hit them twice with the rifle, I'm thinking I can't allow them to drop as much as I normally would just with 2 or down 3. Yeah, I didn't even get the Fatal Blow to come out. Hang on. Okay, that can work. Okay, so you can do that too. So those are your Fatal Blow combos as well. With Erron Black. Am I missing anything else? I don't know. So, shoot, let me have a look. So I've gone over all that. Oh, I guess I can go over how to, I guess I can go over his wake-up options. I haven't done that. And flawless blocking as well. And then I definitely think I'm done. I don't know what else to go over. So, let's see if I record something. Okay, so actually, I'll do something else. Okay, so when Erron Black gets knocked down, you have 2 wake-up options. Obviously, you can up 3, more like that. Okay, I'll do it. Hang on. You can do that, up 3 is actually a really good get up because it's got a lot of range on it, and you can actually catch opponents out of the air if they try and jump in on you as well. Not consistently, but it can be done. So it's a really good tool, and it's also good for floss blocking. You know what? For floss blocking, I'm going to quickly pick Scarlet because she's easy to floss block and Cassie. So yeah, I'll quickly do this, and I shall see you all in a few seconds. Okay, so we're back, and we've got Scarlet. So I'm just going to record something with Scarlet. Last kick is floss blockable. Yeah, so you can up 3. Yeah, and if you get the floss block up 2, you could 4-3-2 into a combo. Go, you know, all the things we were talking about earlier on. So you can do that. Yeah, that's Erron Black. So again, he's the Swiss Army knife of the 2 variations, soon to be 3 variations. Nether Beast Trap and Acid Paw. Please, Ed Boon. Please. Okay, so anyway, so there. Your Swiss Army knife, you can play the game however you want. So you can throw him in any predicament, and as long as you know what you're doing, you should be able to thrive. So he can zone to some degree. I mean, his rifle's a decent zoning tool at best. I mean, his rifles is what you should use to chip your opponent out or just trap him on the acid at best. I mean, he doesn't become a god at this range just because of his zoning. It's his scud shot that makes him more of a threat. The ability to just cancel out projectiles and, you know, counter for free basically with the amplified shot. And of course, the knockback and, you know, the sitting on the acid, it can drain an opponent's health bar before you even know it, before they know it. So that makes him good here. Also, he's got these strings which you can use from back all the way back here, even at this sort of mid-space range, just to bait the opponent out, just to hit confirm some shots. He has some great ways of getting in, great neutral tools. He has 4-2, back 1, 4-3-2. He has great pokes, some of the best pokes I feel. I couldn't really ask for better pokes, to be honest. Down 1 and down through jail. Down 4 gives you good spacing. You could go straight into forward 2. You know, that's great. Your down 4 gives you 16 hit advantage, and your 4-2 is 15, so you get slide dash. You can go in. And you get some stuff going. You know, crushing blow on one of his throws, a great fatal blow. Good floss blocking options, good wake ups as well, because I mean they're technically the same thing. All around good character. His weaknesses, well, his standing 2 is a high, so if your opponent mashes down 2 constantly, you can just down 2 out of some of his pressure. But with 52 card pickup, your main pressure string will be back 2, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. So that is a weakness, nevertheless. Against heavy zoning characters like Scarlet, who has the blood tentacle, stop calling it a tongue. That's just wrong and awkward and weird on so many levels. It says in the move list it's a blood tentacle. Please refer to it as a blood tentacle, for crying out loud. But anyway, let me show you something real quick. Erron Black can't deflect all projectiles with scud shot, so if I just do that, scud shot, I'll still get hit. So you can counter and trade, or you can just hit her before anything happens. But although scud shot's really good as a counter zoning tool, it's not perfect because he does get hit by some projectiles. So against some zoning characters like Scarlet, Cetrion, Erron Black can struggle at this range. He just can. And against characters who can teleport, i.e. Scarlet, Cetrion, Erron Black can struggle with them as well. Because his rifle, because of a nerf he sustained, no longer tracks characters who teleport behind him immediately, so it's easier to punish him if you've got your rifle out. So that can be a weakness with Erron Black. Against characters with really solid neutral and punishing tools like Cassie, you have to be really careful with Scud Shot. Cassie, Jax, Jackie, all these characters, and even more, they all threaten Erron Black at this range. Because, obviously, this doesn't make you completely safe. Because, basically, pre-patch Erron Black was basically an autopilot character. I mean, you were safe. You were safe, no big deal. You didn't really have to think about as much as you do now. And because of that, like I said, you do have to think more, because if you just recklessly go in, some of these characters on this roster will be able to make you pay. So, although Scud Shot is good for cancelling out some strings, it's not perfect for every single string. Forward 3-2 works, but again, that could be flawless block. So he is somewhat flawless blockable, but again, that's not really a big issue, because you're not really going to be doing this. That's not going to be your main point of attack. So if you just, again, think of the block of cheese, if your opponent flawless blocks this constantly, don't use it. Just start doing this. Do things like this. Close that gap up, you know? Fill the hole, so to speak. So you can do that. So Erron Black can mainly struggle from here against some characters. Jumping characters can be quite annoying to play against, like Cabal with his downward saw. That can be quite annoying. Even though Erron Black can deflect with Scud Shot, it can be a bit tricky to get in against some characters who can do that. Sub-Zero also comes to mind with his axe, with his thin ice variation. There are some other characters who can do it. Yeah, all in all, Erron Black's a solid character. If I had to make a tier list, I'd put him A+ somewhere. He's definitely not S anymore. You could make an argument for S-. I think he's A+, because out of the top tier characters, I mean, Erron Black and Garrus got nerfed. Garrus is more viable in more matchups than Erron Black. I feel like it is. Erron Black does struggle with more counter pick options, and again, with neutral, it's not just a case of, oh wow, you know, nothing will happen to me anymore, because things, you know, you can be in trouble. And a way to you know, counter Scud Shot if you don't amplify, you can just down 4, and you know, your opponent can take their turn back. And if you are playing someone like who's using Scarlet, who has immense pressure with blood drive and those blood balls, that, you know, you might be in for a really tough time. So yeah, and although Erron Black's mid tools are really good to get in, they're not the best. They're just really good. So I mean, Scarlet's forward 2. Erron Black's forward 2 is not beating that. It's not. I mean, again, if you time that exactly, you're not beating that. And some characters have better advancing mids, like Cassie with the back 2. So you do have to be careful with some characters in certain predicaments. And teleport characters could be of issue as well, because if you are setting up your acid, there's a good chance you might not actually get off your pressure the way you anticipate. So with that being said, I'm gonna have a game on casual and actually play a game with 52 card pickup, just to show you how you can use them. Because I understand that's a lot to process, so if I just have a game, should be able to break it down and make it easy for you all. So yeah, hope you enjoy this.
Fight! Round 2, fight! Final round. Fight. Erron Black wins.
GG. Well, yeah, so that has been the tutorial for 52 card pickup. I'll start the Bargain Irons one now, so I'll split this. So, hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you have any other tips to provide, please let me know, obviously down in the comments. And if I figure anything out, maybe I'll do an update video at some point, or maybe I'll just post something down in the comments for you all to see. But yeah, this has been Size and Eyes, and yeah, I really did enjoy making this actually. So can't wait to start the other one. So take care, and I'll see you all later.